Yeah, I think it's the first time since I've been here that I'm pretty angry at our football team. And, first of all, you know, from a big picture, we didn't play complimentary football. When we did some good things on the offensive side of the ball, we didn't complement, that defensively, and vice versa. But the thing that is most concerning for me are the personal fouls, the penalties that are selfish. Both of them led to scores, and they're undisciplined penalties, and effectively they fall back on me. And we take pride in running a disciplined program, but we have clearly not done a good enough job there because it impacted the game. The other thing is, unfortunately, it's clear that when we get up in a game, we do not know how to handle ourselves. You got to have a killer instinct in this game. You got to put teams away. We had an opportunity to put this team away, and we get complacent. We make more mistakes when we're ahead instead of having a better focus and a steely-eyed killer instinct, and that's disappointing. And so I'm angry at those things that I have to do a better job in shaping that in this group, because we had guys that played hard tonight. I mean, we had guys that wanted to win and were prepared to win. But those two things just, eat at me, and, they got to get fixed. So with that, I'll open up to questions.
Brian, the offense, particularly in the second half, like you said, not being able to maybe take advantage of some opportunities to put USC away. What exactly, when you look at it, went wrong in those moments?
There's a host of situations. We had a couple of false start penalties. We started behind the chains a couple of times. It wasn't probably our best execution. We don't have a cutoff on the backside on one. We don't, we don't run the route correctly. I mean, there was a number of different things, and they were based solely on the inability to execute at a high level when our best was needed offensively. We were not able to deliver. Now, we battled, and look, here's what I'm going to tell you. You get inside the 15-yard line 3 times and you come away with 6 points, that's going to come back and beat you. And so we can talk about missed blocks and not executing and not doing this and not doing that. We left a lot of points out there. We went up and down the field, but if you don't score points when you're down inside the red zone, like we did not do tonight, you're going to lose a one-possession game like we did tonight. And we put way too much pressure on our defense to be something that they're not ready to be. They battled, but we have warts, and they're not going away overnight. They got better. But our offense needed to be better because we needed to score in those situations, and that's just the way it needed to be. And coming up with 6 points with 3 possessions inside the 15 is just not good enough.
Brian, right up the middle. Just what did you see in that defense? You talked about them being better. Obviously, a nice challenge with their receivers and tight ends tonight.
I think our defensive tackle play was much better. I think our edge play was better. I think we tackled pretty good. We competed on the edge. I think we were competitive. I just think overall it's connected better. We've got to get better in some areas, but it's a cohesive, connected group that plays hard. They played really, really hard. And they didn't execute at the end as well as we would have liked, but that's probably it.
Yeah, hey Brian, right here. You guys, really kind of, I think, struggled to get the run game going at times in this game. Just, can you maybe talk about some of the inconsistencies maybe that you saw there, and just kind of how you can improve in that area?
Look, we could sit here and we could go and, look at a million different things, but we had over 400 yards in total offense. We weren't able to put the ball in the end zone when we really needed to. And so this is much more about being a much better and efficient offense in the red zone than it is the failings of the inability to run. We ran the ball well enough to set up everything else that we needed to do. Do I want to run the ball better? Absolutely. There's no doubt. I think our execution needs to get better. But having said that, we ran the ball well enough to win this game. But you can't win it if you don't score touchdowns in the areas that we won, or come away with nothing from the 3-yard line.
Brian, I know it's game one, but were you surprised and or taken aback by just the number of penalties and kind of the nature of some of them tonight?
Well, I mean, I've already commented on the 2 personal foul penalties. They impacted the game. And they're from veterans and from guys that know better and are leaders. And I have to look at myself and say, I have to do better because they're not getting the message. So, we had the 2 penalties there. Clearly that impact those 2 penalties impacted the game. We had a couple of false start penalties. We had a PI that, I thought one was clearly a PI. The other one was, could have gone either way. 10 is too many. Let's put it that way. 10 is too many. But 2 personal foul penalties that set up scores is unacceptable.
Coach, is it disappointing when you have, Savion Jones kind of really rose up, Aaron Anderson, John Emery, they kind of put you in position? Is it disappointing when those guys perform and you don't get a victory?
Hell yes. Hell yes. I mean, and that's what I said to the team. I said, we had some guys played their butts off tonight, and we're sitting here again. We're sitting here again talking about the same things. About not finishing when you have an opponent in a position to put them away. But what we're doing on the sideline is feeling like the game's over. And I'm so angry about it that I got to do something about it. I'm not doing a good enough job as a coach. And I got to coach him better because it's unacceptable for us not to have found a way to win this football game. It's ridiculous.